I'm not gonna lie. I
Humankind
would
cannot
give
gain
up.
anything
I would
without
literally
first
give up
giving
all
something in
three
return.
Dark Knight movies just so I can get Christopher Nolan to do Percy
To
Jackson.
obtain, something of equal value must be lost.
Let's start off here. We watched Oppenheimer together.
Yeah, we did.
And that movie, how'd you feel about that movie?
Honestly, I feel like now is a terrible way to like. I feel like I'm kind of like, how do I say it? My mind isn't clear on it because I haven't seen it since that day. So like, I think it was a well made.
That movie
I think it was. I think it was well made. I would never. It has zero replay value for me. Like I feel like if I care about World War II and all that like topic, I feel like I might find more entertainment from a genuine, just like informational YouTube video.
Nah.
But it was well acted though.
I think both of those movies were bad, like Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, but one has a specific like I think I want to say that they're bad. They have no replay value for me.
They haven't.
I enjoyed them when I watched them.
No replay value.
But I did like that scene. I can't say that like that scene in Oppenheimer where he's like, oh, why when they're deciding where they're gonna bomb, and he's like, oh yeah, let's bomb here, and he's like, nah. And they're like, why? He's like, oh, we went on a honeymoon there, me and my wife. I'm like, I bet. Let's just bomb a completely different like stuff like that was really cool. But it was back to the Odyssey though. Is there any actor that you wish was in it that wasn't? Or like, or would you swap anybody out?
Inside, who would I swap out? I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the acting was that great. I think this movie's, instead of being like a very acting heavy movie, it's more of a director focused movie and concept focused movie than anything. I don't think the acting was that great. I think, what's her name again? I keep forgetting her name.
Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway was amazing, and then Robert Pattinson was fucking incredible.
Agree.
I
think everybody did a good job though.
I think everybody did a good job. I think Tom Holland's still not a good actor, but it doesn't matter.
You know what? Hot take. I think he did good.
To this day, hold on, before you say that, to this day, I feel like they hold my boy Asa Butterfield, because he was supposed to be, it was him versus Tom Holland for Spider-Man. And I'm not gonna lie, at the time I said let's go get Tom Holland, but I think I might have regret that now. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, you're tripping. I'm not co-signing that. I'm not co-signing that.
Are you the type of nigga who actually believes that Tom Holland called like the Sony reps? Do you actually believe that nigga did that? Oh,
and told them to like change.
Yeah.
Wait, which version? There's multiple. There's multiple
one
like
where
occasions.
Jimmy Kimmel Live and Sony and Marvel was gonna split apart again, like after the first movie.
And he called them.
He called them. Yeah. Do you believe that?
You know what? The reason I'm going to say I do isn't because I think he has that dog in him, but because I think any reasonable person that saw Morbius, Raven the Hunter, and Madam Web would rather die than that be their main verse. I think I would make that call. Anybody would make that boss call.
Oh my god.
Balls have to be made.
The niggas really released Morbius twice. That might be one of the.
Yeah, they pump faked with a Tobey Maguire thing in the trailer. They pump faked niggas with that.
Oh my god.
I know people that went to see that movie just hoping it was connected to the Tobey verse because they had some Tobey Maguire graffiti in the trailer that was then removed.
Oh my god, that. And the niggas Craven is an actual movie. But okay. I wish. Okay, is there anybody you wish was in the movie? Because I don't know. I don't know how I would.
Damn. This is maybe like an unserious take, but maybe not replacing somebody, but just because Matt Damon's the main character.
Oh my
Where's
god.
Ben Affleck?
Oh my god.
You know what? Instead of having, I have no problem with Betty Safi as Agamemnon. That boy did his thing, even though, whatever. The armor did a lot of heavy lifting no matter who played it. Make Agamemnon Ben Affleck. You don't even have to show his face more, but that's just how they got it. Like,
or instead
and then just give him a Boston accent.
Instead of Anne Hathaway, Ben Affleck. That's
the one time I wouldn't be against that. Like, just pretend God. It's a girl. Everybody thinks it's a girl.
Everybody thinks it's a girl.
Shit, it's Justin Bieber.
That's real Greek shit. That's real Greek shit too. For the men to be acting, yeah. Because everybody was complaining that Lupita Nyong'o, she's in Greek or whatever they were saying.
Man.
That's the reason why they were mad, because she wasn't Greek.
But was anybody in that movie actually Greek?
No, but Lupita wasn't Greek. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. The only casting that I also really love, but kind of threw me off because I'm biased and I love them so much. I love Robert Pattinson. But sometimes he would come on the screen, and my first instinct was just like hating like Matt Reeves.
No,
I'm like, there is no way they like. What is he doing? We'll get
what
back to the.
what really made me laugh is I can't, every time he said
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
there's just a meme that formed in my head like this is exactly this is how he was when niggas in Victor's neighborhood was asking for help from the penguin and this nigga fucking Bruce Wayne was like
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
what the fuck that nigga does not give a fuck. Yeah, he
Canonically hates poor people.
canonically hates poor people.
That's like a genuine plot point in the actual movie. Not even the penguin. Literally, the Riddler told him, "You didn't catch me because you don't know anything about being poor."
Oh my god, bro. That needs to be used as slander against Batman. I don't care if it's from a different movie.
It's not even an agenda. It's just a fact. He just
That
hates poor
nigga
people.
fucking. Oh my god, Matt Reeves is taking. It's gonna be 2028. That's 6 years.
If the movie lives up to expectations, I think to me is really dependent on the time between 2 and 3. If they're able to take forever for 2 and it's solid, and they crank out 3 and it's also solid, but like they in a less than 3 year frame, then I think fine. But if we have to wait another jump, 2 cannot like live up to that. It's gonna get beyond into across the Spider-Verse treatment, like in retrospect.
Yeah, I just hope Matt Reeves is like as good as I think he is. That's the thing. Because that movie, that first movie, I don't know. That first movie was amazing. It's the aesthetics, it's the everything of it. But going back to Odyssey, right?
Right.
How were you when you first saw that Cyclops shit?
Right.
When I saw
Appreciating the practical
eyes,
effect.
bro, it was the eyes. Oh my God. That shit. You know what made me mad about this movie?
But
I made me fucking hate Christopher Nolan. Like, fuck Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan should have been doing Percy Jackson. He should have been doing Percy Jackson. That nigga, oh, I need to make art that goes with me. Nigga did Tenet. Nigga did Oppenheimer. That could have been fucking Lightning Thief and Sea of Gods, like Sea of Monsters, right there.
I mean, it would be cool until he gets sued for actually turning a nigga to stone. Like that's something he would act. Nah, actually, that's funny that you say that because it's a little related. But the narrative on Twitter, people saying, "I bet now that he's done that, people are begging for him to make a Dante's Inferno movie."
That's
And
crazy.
like the book. Everybody's like, bro, he'll actually summon demons. Like, no, do not let him do that.
Man, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would
Humankind
give
cannot
up.
gain anything
I would
without
literally
first
give up
giving
all
something in
3
return.
Dark Knight movies just so I can get Christopher Nolan to do Percy
To
Jackson.
obtain something of equal value must be lost.
Dude, but I feel like that would. You see, I would only accept that offer if that means he also did. He would have to do Heroes of Olympus after.
You would have to do Heroes of Olympus, of course.
Like it would have to be a
That fight
6 picture
between
deal.
Jason, that fight between Jason and Percy,
That'd be Gojo versus
my
Sukuna
God.
levels of hype. I kid you not. That would be tough. Holy
that would
shit.
be so
I do need that.
tough, bro. Are you serious? I'm actually
How the fuck
mad.
would you show me something if I couldn't have
And
it?
seeing this
The
movie just
Disney-
pissed me off.
The Disney version that's going on right now, the Disney Plus version, isn't really moving me.
It's not moving me either.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that Cyclops scene, I think it was cool, but I also liked it because he kind of made me feel bad for the Cyclops. Like I low-key wasn't even like tight. Like
Yeah.
I was low-key rooting for it for a minute. They go to his crib, they attack him. He does that petty arrow at the very
Oh,
end.
that
That was
was-
about to escape.
That was fucking. That's some shit I would do. I'm not gonna lie.
He almost
That
got the whole
last
kill.
arrow. That last arrow.
And then when he was crying, when they finally like took his eye out, I actually felt bad, like genuinely.
Yeah, yeah. But then they got cursed. I think my
Also-
favorite scenes, like my favorite scenes in that movie, I really love the scene of Agamemnon dying. That shit
Okay.
is amazing. That shit is like Lupita, the way she acts out that moment and just like it's so vicious. It's like, oh my God.
I did not see that coming.
I mean, I like anything with Agamemnon in it, to be honest. Like, I
That's
genuinely think he
armor.
might be the coldest character and he didn't have to be in it.
Didn't have
Like,
to be
literally,
there.
my brain fills in the blanks. And
Exactly,
everybody
that's
else
all you have
acted
to
their
do.
ass off.
Exactly. That
Also, I think-
when Matt Damon gives him the knee, you're like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Also, I think it's a really good idea. I really appreciate that they didn't include any Achilles cameos
Yeah.
because I don't know if anybody could have really.
Oh,
lived up
no,
to that.
Achilles would have to be Ben Affleck. Achilles would have to be Ben Affleck.
Yo, you might be
Yeah.
onto something. Achilles Ben
Achilles would
Affleck.
have
yo.
to be Ben Okay, I need to ask you this, right? I'm gonna answer it too. when you first
So
heard that after Oppenheimer, right? That he was coming out with the Odyssey, like what was your what were you thinking? Because what I was thinking is that this nigga just got Barbenheimer. He basically got a blank check and he's just about to go on and do bullshit. Because I was like, how the fuck does the how Oppenheimer connect to the Odyssey? But then when I watched it, it was like, oh, this makes so much sense for like the trajectory he's going with. Like I
like
think
the messaging.
the messaging, yeah. Because I was somebody said the scene of him on the stairs, they kept going back to that like fucking Naruto on the swing set. I agree with that, but there's a reasoning for it because it's like it is like Oppenheimer where he did this very like it the way he views it, right? And he's kind of
Mhm.
correct where what he did at Troy was basically the first war crime. Like and that's such a cool way for
Unethical
Christopher.
hoops.
Yeah, such a cool way for Christopher Nolan to view it because whenever people talk about the Trojan horse, they talk about it how much of a genius tactic it was, how like brilliant it was, right? But then like when you really think about it, and especially when you see it from Odysseus's perspective, it basically was him committing a war crime because like lines get drawn further and further away from where they're actually supposed to be as time goes on. But like Odysseus sort of started that breaking of the line because the one thing because war crimes are basically the lines you don't cross during war, right? And
Right.
the first one that Odysseus stepped over was basically basic morals. Like you don't make a covenant with somebody, which is basically you giving up the war. This is a gift, and then you break it. You don't do that. That's not supposed to be something you do.
I think it's an actual war crime now, though. It's like a legal thing. Like if
I
you
think
make a
yeah.
ceasefire and stuff.
Ceasefire, then go. Yeah. That definitely is a war crime. So when he's talking about these people who have no rules, no borders, no thing, they don't respect Zeus's law. He's the one who actually started that, right? So he has to live on with like the gateway to hell. He basically opened up by like going past that. And it's so crazy because Oppenheimer as well, when he made the nuke, like both of these men, they were within moments where people just wanted like a war to end. So then they allowed these people with Oppenheimer and his like genius, engineering, and then Odysseus with his amazing battle tech, like tacticianry or whatever they allowed them to basically run rampant. They allowed them to do whatever they want to do just so they could get like the war over with. And because of that, they ended up doing like the worst things. Basically imagine like having this much expertise and this much like intelligence and then having no morals to guide it. That's what those two men were.
Right. Now that you say that, two things in response. One to your original question and one you're saying now when it comes to like Oppenheimer and the Odyssey. I think it's kind of similar messaging, but I also think he kind of did them a little differently, right? 'Cause I feel like Oppenheimer was like the character himself. I don't think he really cared too much about the war. He was more like on some science, like on a science, but he was kind of disconnected from like the purpose of like what his creation was being used for, which is
Yeah.
why it took so long for him to
Fucking
realize, oh shit, what have I done, right?
yeah.
So he's like too disconnected, and that's like the problems of that, right? But I think when you go to the Odyssey, that the reason he did his terrible thing was because he was too deep in the salt. It's like he was
Yeah.
too deep in the battlefield. He had to witness. He's
Yeah.
like they get to the same end, but they're both on two different extremes.
Yeah. And in some way I sort of view like the Odyssey as the response to Oppenheimer's like nihilism. Like there's a feeling of like, oh, it's cooked at the end of Oppenheimer. Like there's nothing we can never go back after this, right? But then
Right.
Odysseus, the Odyssey, basically, like to be honest, it's been cooked ever since Odysseus did that thing with the Trojan horse. Ever since like the first line was crossed, it's been cooked. But still, like Odysseus says at the end of the movie, Western society will rebuild. It will come back. Like the Greeks will come back. Like Zeus's law will be reinstated. And the fact that we are still here to the end of this day shows that all that nihilism, that cynicism, and that feeling of being cooked, it makes sense that it's still there, but humanity has still survived past like the Trojan horse, past like the breaking of Zeus's law, and past those horrible things. And we might live past like the nuclear bullshit as well. Maybe
So
like
what you're saying is to cap off this trilogy, Nolan needs to do the next film is Cuban Missile Crisis.
Cuban
That's
Missile
that's what I'm hearing.
Crisis.
What are you talking about? That's the logical next step. The mutually assured destruction. That's
what would
where
actually
shit kind
be
of go.
okay? What would actually be like Nolan's like?
Yo, that might be super biased, might be super unrelated, and be like get open mind though. Nolan Metal Gear would be a perfect film.
Oh
Like
my
he
god!
could. I think that him
No, no, no,
and
but
Denny Villeneuve are the
Here's
two
the
guys I
thing.
can see pulling
Here's
that
the
off.
thing. It can't focus on Snake. It has to focus on Major Zero. It has to focus on Major Zero.
All right. Yes.
It has to
Yeah.
focus on
And then
Major
what? Just
Zero.
have what like what the two scenes with Snake like with
Yeah,
Big Boss
yeah.
and like
Oh my
give
god.
Agamemnon
Okay.
aura like so, and not even that like who's talented enough and like visually and like skill wise to like have the nuance between Snake, Liquid, and Big Boss because they'd have to do all three if you ask me. The only one that maybe could be a different person is Liquid, but I still would rather if it's the same guy.
I would probably get like anybody directing, and then Greg Fraser cinematography. I could get like I could get
Nah,
I could
Nolan
get
and
Taika.
Denny have to
I think.
direct.
Oh no, Taika Waititi.
Are you crazy? Look, I need this in location. I want them in Alaska or in a real jungle. You
No,
give it to
shut up the
Nolan?
volume. What the fuck? What
No, hell no. Yo, Nolan would actually build a functional Metal Gear for the story. Like that's and blow it up. Like he
Oh
would
my
actually do
god.
that.
Okay,
That would be amazing.
would you have, if you were Robert Pattinson's character, would you have gone to war, or would you have done the same thing as him?
Neither.
What do you mean neither?
Like I wouldn't have gone to war, but I also wasn't gonna be lying about it.
Because no, I'm saying like, would you have done what he did? As in, you know how he gave his.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have went. But I also would have
But how would you have done it?
I would have done the same thing
way
he
as
did.
him?
But I
Okay.
just afterwards, I wouldn't have acted like I wanted to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'll be I'm mad
You.
happy I didn't go. And I would slander. I would put agendas on Odysseus. Like he was too busy like trying to like lie. I mean, like I look up no, call him an idiot for leaving. Like that's what you should do.
Oh my god, bro. The scene where he realizes that Odysseus is there and he tries to leave the fucking door, that shit is hilarious.
Man, I'm just glad. Like I hate that the guy. I don't know the name of the actor. I know he played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton. I
Oh, that
hated
was
that
him?
dude in this movie. Yeah,
When he
because yo,
started beating
he
like,
pissed me off more than Robert Pattinson because he just had
gave
no
him an
finesse
arrow
with it.
through the throat out of nowhere. Like
He had
damn,
that coming.
that nigga, dude.
But that was so loud in the theater that kind of jump scared me.
Yeah, it jump scared me. There's a lot of jump scare moments. When that child screamed and all the big ass.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that scene didn't hit as much for me because I feel like it shouldn't have been shown in the trailer. And that's the one scene that I feel
Oh, it
low
was
key.
shown in the trailer? I didn't see
Yeah, like
it.
a lot. Like the last three trailers. Like I feel like it would have been so cool had you never seen it.
That
But I
shit
knew once I saw that kid's armor, I knew it was coming. So like I was kind of like underwhelmed by it a little bit. But now that you bring up the shape shifting sequence, Nolan strategically left out some stuff that saved Odysseus' PR.
Wait, what do you
Wait.
mean?
So I guess in the original, like in the actual Odyssey, and when Odysseus cracks, like he cracks the witch and has a kid.
What?
Yeah.
As a kid?
Yeah, he never meets him. But yeah, and that kid I think allegedly go on to marry Penelope, which
What
is
the
Anne
fuck?
Hathaway's kid. Exactly. He saved his boy's PR.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So I'm glad he left that stuff out because
Wait,
his kid would have been cooked.
does that kid also kill Odysseus?
No, I think I don't know if he meets him or I don't know if they ever interact.
Don't even get me started about Oedipus. Let's just say that you do not want to be at his house over the holidays. It's awkward.
But yeah, I'm glad though, 'cause that means there'll never be a sequel. I hope there never is a sequel because they do the Iliad. I don't want to, like, the generational aura that the best character is going to have would genuinely be crippling. Like, they would ruin Agamemnon.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, he really saved a lot of people's PR. That nigga Mentor,
Great
that
job.
scene where he hears the person's armor. That shit is a
Yeah.
beautiful callback. Like you've been building up to that scene the whole time. That's just amazing.
But I don't think that was
Great
Mentor
writing.
that did the blind guy.
Yeah.
No, that's
Remember,
not Mentor.
he's like, no. Wait, that's not Mentor? Oh, wait, is
No,
Mentor the one
Mentor
that
is
died?
the bodyguard that died at the
Oh, yeah,
at the
you're
Athena
you're
temple.
Right.
'Cause I know him just because he was like, since he's Ryan Hurst, he was Thor and the
Wasn't
God
he
of War
supposed to be
games.
Kratos?
Yeah, but he suffered an injury.
Yeah, now they fired
They
him.
should recast him for the way better casting that they originally should have gone with Joe Budden. Why are you laughing?
Oh my God.
Why are you
Joe
laughing?
Budden as Kratos might be one of the greatest movies
Other
ever.
niggas had your bitch outside.
It wasn't my bitch.
Then shut the fuck up in 2020.
Yo,
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
I'm so serious.
God.
That's a real bet. But I feel like he'd be a better young Kratos, but I'll take old Kratos.
Okay, okay. You see, you
I'm
go too far.
serious.
That's the
No,
problem.
no,
When
I'm
you start going too
serious.
far.
Voice wise,
Too far.
Joe Budden is closer to TC Carson than Christopher Judge.
No, don't ever say good.
Yeah, they're
But
like,
Joe Budden
"Zeus."
physically, yeah, Kratos. That's what I think of. I see Kratos, so I think Joe Budden.
All right.
That might be one of the greatest things ever.
I'm serious. What? That'd be
Oh my
amazing.
God, bro. Oh my God. DJ Academics as Zeus, of course.
Zeus. Academic would be a great Odin, by the way. Just pushing agendas and narratives. That'd be amazing. What?
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Odin would work.
I would genuinely buy that because Odin's funny. Academic's like brass. Is Kratos the most broad in the game?
Oh my God, bro. And then the brothers that Kratos kills.
Oh, hey,
Ori and Mal.
all right.
Ori and Mal. So easily. So easily.
You know what? That's not
Okay,
even crazy.
if you were to describe the Odyssey, right? This movie in one hip hop song. First of all, they ended that movie with a fucking Travis Scott song, and that might have been one of the worst Travis Scott songs I've ever heard in my life.
Or down.
How did you like Travis in this movie?
Inoffensive.
Yeah, he was inoffensive. I would say that too.
I'm not gonna. What? No, like, I don't. Whatever. Like what he was doing made sense.
Yeah, it did. It did. It did.
I think. Yeah.
Nah,
Did they have ended the
man.
song with Fiend? Maybe.
Okay, you see,
Was that the siren song? Was the siren song Fiend?
oh my God. And he was saying that it itched a spot. That's incredible writing, by the way. That monologue is incredible writing.
The post siren.
Yeah, when he's saying it itched the spot. Why did that nigga? I hate that. I think that's the character I hate the most in this movie. What character
It's
do you
like
hate
in
the most in the
command.
movie? No. The nigga who took off his fucking things during the siren song.
Oh, okay. I see
hate
what you're
that
talking
nigga.
about.
The nigga who took the wax out of his ears and then jumped out. Pussy.
No, the guy that I hated the most was literally the guy that played Dr. Gray. I hated that guy. I hated him so much. He was attacking the dog. The guy that played Dr. Gray, he attacked the dog. He was
Yeah.
about to kill Tom Holland. He was trying to provoke Tom Holland. Like, yo, he actually had that coming. Like, yo, I felt zero remorse. We got
I did
packed.
too when he
Like,
died, yeah. Would you have gotten into the horse?
like from an acting POV, or like if you were actually a person alive at
A
that
person
time.
alive. Like full of shit and pissed and all that.
I feel like you don't have a choice though, right? I feel like that's
Yeah, it's either that or you
probably-
end up as, you know,
No, actually, there is a better
Elliot
position to be in.
Page.
No, there is one better position to be in.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
the-
going
and-
outside the gate.
Yeah, because they were just waiting there. I can remember,
They were
yo,
just waiting
post it
there.
up.
Oh my God, I seen the torchlight come through. Oh my God.
What? That would
I
be
was like,
shit.
what the fuck?
Probably-
That shit looked like a horror scene.
Yeah, that would be a better position to be in. But by the way, this is why I really like that they cast John Bernthal. Him being there, I believe the war aspect. He's like him yelling. Like, "Ah!" I'm like, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah, like, this is the thing I got going
That shit
on.
was crazy. Yeah, but we actually got into a conversation about this. So we were looking at Nolan's, past three movies, Oppenheimer, Tenet, the Odyssey. I
Never
didn't
watched Tenet, by the
Oppenheimer.
way.
I haven't watched the Tenet yet. I haven't watched Tenet yet. And the Odyssey, I think, is his. What do you put it as in his best movies? I think it's his second best movie.
Of those three,
You've watched? No, like in general, all his movies. I think that's the second. I haven't. Let me see the movies I haven't watched. I haven't watched Inception. I haven't watched Tenet. I haven't watched. Which one did he make? Did he make 1912 or did he make Dunkirk? He made one of those.
he made Dunkirk. And I haven't watched most of his movies.
Dunkirk.
I just watched Oppenheimer and Batman Begins. So I'm super unqualified to talk about it. Also,
Oh, I
I
haven't watched
get the
Memento
feeling-
either.
I get the feeling that I
haven't
really
watched
like the
a lot of
Prestige.
his movies. I haven't watched the Prestige either.
That I really want to watch
but
the
from his
Prestige before I
movies
say
I've
anything.
watched. From his movies I've watched, I would give that's his second best movie.
I like it more than Batman Begins and Oppenheimer. So technically,
No, but you watch Interstellar too.
oh, that was no. Oh, never mind. Second. Whoa, yeah, no.
I think to
Interstellar.
me, I think it's better than Interstellar. I will go Dark Knight then the Odyssey, then Interstellar.
I can't
And
in
then
good faith
Dark
put
Knight
it.
Rises probably whatever.
I can't put it over Interstellar just because that theater experience was crazy.
That theater experience, yeah, we watched it in the theaters. Yeah, that shit was insane.
Yeah,
That might
and
have
I
been one of
just
the craziest
because that was my first time ever watching it.
in
Like
theaters.
it
Yeah,
wasn't a rewatch to
yeah,
me.
yeah. That movie is insane. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, that
and I
that theater
just
experience. But I feel like the Odyssey theater experience was
Matthew McConaughey went crazy.
Let me leave, Murph.
I think the visuals that they did with space, like they made a space movie. I felt like, and I'm not super like interested in space movies, and I'm not kind of like Star Wars or like sci-fi, but I mean it's like
yeah.
stuff. Well, that was
Actual
sci-fi, but you
space.
know what? I mean, like yeah, like where it's like close to real space. That's not
Yeah.
really my bag, but he made me really care about that, and just off the pure
Did you watch
thing.
Project Hail Mary?
No, it really never piqued my
Wait,
interest.
from the movies you've seen this year and like last quarter of last year, what would you rate? Like what movies? Yeah, what would you rate? Where would you rate this movie?
Damn, I don't remember what I've seen in a hot minute though. I feel like I kind of been off that. I've just been working. It low key, it's up there. Probably top three of the things that I've seen in recent memory. Just like I
Yeah, I
can't
think so
remember
too.
what I've seen.
But I would also say, I think this year, I said this to you before, this year is the year where Denis passes Nolan up. And this movie is
Yeah, it's
amazing,
unfortunate.
but
That's the
it's
worst thing about this
over.
movie.
It's over. I'm
Yo,
sorry.
this
Like
came
that
out in
ghost
like
status
last
you had,
September.
it's up. It's up. The ghost status you had is up.
This would have been a generational movie had it dropped last September.
But the thing is, we're witnessing a generational run from Denis. That nigga, three movies, three movies in like what, 6 years? I told you he's moving like prime video game studios. This is early 2000s. Like niggas don't move like this anymore. Like
Yeah,
how
with big
long?
name actors, by the way.
I think he's released more movies than Sony exclusives. I
Yo,
think he's
well, that
released
original IP,
more
yeah,
than
yeah,
original IPs.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
You
But you
know
got
what?
Blade
If you
Runner.
gave the God of War remake to Denis, I'm not
It'd
gonna
be
lie,
out
we would
next
have
year.
it out this year. Number one's out this year.
It would be out this year.
It would be
It
out
would be a
this year.
banger. It would be a
Exactly.
banger.
And it would be a big. That's the thing. Dune 2 is better than this movie. Dune 1.
Dune 2 beats up. Nah, Dune 2 beats a lot of shit for me though.
Dune 2 beats. I think Dune 2 is the best movie of this decade. To be honest,
So
okay,
like,
I'm looking at my letterbox right now. I think my top three movies of this decade. I think Dune 2 will probably be number one. I loved Friendship. Friendship will be number.
oh
You
no,
need
what I
to
need.
watch Friendship.
When I kick his fucking HBO bags, got just like this. Them
Oh
niggas hold
yeah.
everybody. They
Oh
hold it.
yeah.
And now when season two of the chair company drops, I'm cooked. That's a
Oh
bootleg.
my God. Oh, I forgot that's coming. Oh my God, I forgot. Oh yeah, the chair company.
Yo, give Nolan the chair company. I'm so
Ah,
serious.
that would be fucking crazy.
Yeah, see now also takeaway from this movie, and I always kind of thought this, but I just like think now it's like time to go to an extreme. We genuinely need to have like a 5 year like ban or like embargo on the volume and like green screens. Like everything needs to be
What do you
on
mean?
location.
Shout out the volume. Oh my God. Thank you,
No,
John Favreau,
like
for everything you did, of course.
no that. Oh yeah, because he did the Mandalorian. Yeah, I forget that that was still his
Oh
bag.
my God. Oh yeah, your top three moments. You didn't tell me your top three. Give me your top three.
Okay, no particular order because they could be interchangeable on any day. I give Memnon walking in.
Okay, okay. Makes sense.
And then let's see. I like Tom Holland's journey, like when he's leaving to go find, like he's on the boat to go arrive at the temple. Like he just like with him mentor all them guys on a boat. Like they're kind of posted out. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I really
yeah.
like that. And then I think I really like to see where he's like hunting with the kids.
Wait, what do you
It's
mean?
talking about where Odysseus like hunting. And like all the kids are like there, like watching him hunt, and he like gives the like it's like a flashback. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait. No, I don't.
Yeah, he's like yo, like it's like the scene where they show the first, like they show him with the bow and he's hunting this deer and he does this thing where he like warns them before he hunts, so he gives them a fighting chance. And like all the kids are like there, even Robert Pattinson's character when he was like younger, and they were like freaking just watching him hunt. Like it was a cool scene. What do you mean?
Wow. I
They
think I
show it
missed that
twice.
one. Damn.
Yeah, no, like they show it the first time when Robert Pattinson's like, you know that I met your father. I watched them hunt, and then they show him. It's like all the kids are watching Odysseus hunt, and then they show it again, like extended, but like later on. I like that.
Damn.
It
Okay,
was chill. Like I think you need to show him being a king to show why people care about him and why his absence matters. So I like that.
okay. I agree. I accept that.
Do you have a least favorite scene?
Oh, hmm. I don't. I don't think I feel like all of them were really good.
Like if I had to
Um,
think of a critique, the only thing that I could probably think of is because at the end, like where they reveal like the people of the sea that everybody's so scared of for being like unethical and not caring about Zeus's laws,
yeah,
them.
then it's them. Yeah, that
Yeah,
shows
I feel
me
like
easy.
believe it or not, I think we should have made Odysseus and the crew a bit more unlikable because it kind of seemed like
But
the
no, no,
movie
no, no,
kind of
no.
plays.
I do think that it kind of like shifts their perspective. Because if you there's this one scene where they're at the first island they get to after
Yeah.
they conquer Troy, and you see them
Oh, and
talk
they
to this
attacked
old
them.
man,
Yes.
and the scene cuts off right before he chops off the old man's
Yeah, and their
head.
house is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we needed more of that because after that, it was like it played more like a series of unfortunate events versus like these guys are unwillingly they're like causing havoc.
Yeah, but
Because
they give you hints to how bad they are. They
yeah, no, I
definitely
appreciate it, but it's like a nitpick. But I do think maybe one more like village raid or something.
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, right? Do you think the lady, I think they were, do you think the lady was right to sort of turn them into, you know,
Oh,
because
struggle
I think she was
because she has
right.
power.
No, 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 but I think I understand why she was scared of them though. And she was right about them. She was
I don't
correct
think
about
they
the
would have
type of
done anything
man.
to her though.
I do think I feel like
I
she's
think they aren't the
blessed
type of guys. They're the type of guys. But I don't think they were gonna do that to her.
to her. Okay, because they were
Yeah, like
starving.
they are.
But don't you think, okay, but maybe it was because they were starving. And then afterwards, once they got their power back, you don't think they would have.
Nah, because I think Odysseus had still enough pull and had enough of like I still think that they had a somewhat moral-ish standing because they still respected Zeus's law in their head. Like they didn't really grasp what they had done at Troy yet. Like for them, that was just war. Like I think they still would have. Like definitely, they are those type of guys. Like she read them right. I don't think that would have been the exception to them. Like I think they would have left after.
Damn. Yeah. Nah, I don't trust them niggas. I understand where she was coming from.
Yes, I can see that too as nuance, right? Because like she might not be wrong, but from what we were shown, I don't get that vibe. Like none of them came off like overtly like creepy or weird or fucked up. But you could, and at the same time though, they were also like starting to kind of rebel against Odysseus and all that, and they were being very unlikable. So it's a tough tell.
Yeah, I really, yeah. Them niggas are horrible people, all of them. And you know what? They have gall to after he basically saved their lives and they were pigs. They have gall to not listen to him again.
Yeah, them niggas are.
Who do they
They
think
were
they
pissing me
are?
off.
Like who do they actually think they are?
They man, I don't know. It was actually funny. Somebody was like, "Why didn't Odysseus use the GPS? Is he stupid?"
This felt like a block. This felt like a proper big movie, huge movie. It was a really nice event. It felt like an adventure. I think that's what I really
Yeah,
like
really
about
good.
it. Like most adventure
Like
movies
I
don't even
was
feel like adventures anymore.
like I had never read the Odyssey before. The only info I had about the Odyssey is that allegedly One Piece is the modern day version of it. So I was skeptical. I was like, how is this guy gonna take on the old version of One Piece? You know what? Give him the show.
He's almost there.
Let him do what?
Let him
Let
do
him do
live
what
action. He's earned it now. He's proved himself.
He's proven himself for East Blue, sure.
Yeah.
He can do East Blue. Once he gets to Alabasta, he can do Alabasta. He can do Alabasta. He can do Alabasta. That I know.
Nah, you know what? Nah. I think we're gonna have to start him at we can start him at Info Down.
No, we
He starts
can't.
at
No, we
Info
can't.
Down. He starts at Info Down. Tell us to prove himself from Info Down. Let's go.
No, he's not ready for Impel Down. He is not ready for Impel Down. If he to test his ability, I don't even know if he could do Water 7
Oh my God, this is getting gross.
unless he's gonna build the city. If he builds Water 7, fine, right? Do it practical. Like I want practical Water 7. Like fine, you can CG the freaking horses they ride because they don't exist. But you know what? No, he can still probably practical that too. He
probably
made the
could, yeah.
Cyclops. He made the Cyclops.
I think Nolan, you proved yourself, bro. But it's up for you. I'm sorry, it's up for you. It's up for you. This year, oh my God, I'm telling you, that nigga who's making Spider-Man, he better be on his
That's
shit.
Daniel Craig.
He better be on his shit. it's really close to being up. And this movie, thank you for this movie. Thank you so much. This movie showed me, Tom Holland, you are nowhere near for James Bond. Nowhere near
Wait,
for
who's having these
James
discussions? Wait, no,
Bond.
you might be the only nigga having this discussion.
The discussions are
You made that
over.
up. Nobody.
Niggas were having those discussions. What are you talking about? Niggas was having
You
Tom
made that-
Holland James Bond discussions.
You made that ass. You made that up.
Oh my God! I'm
You
not making
just
that
made
up.
that up.
Niggas was
You just
definitely
made that
having
up.
Tom Holland James Bond's discussion. He
Bro,
made a pitch.
that's nasty. That's a nasty thing you just did there.
He made a pitch.
That's
Oh
so
my
nasty.
God. Oh my God.
Yo.
I'm glad those
You know what?
discussions
After playing
are
007
over.
First Light, we don't need anybody in discussion to play. We don't need another IRL bar. I'm not gonna hold you. We're good. LeBron, we're good. We got the game.
Look,
We got the
the
game. We
thing
got
I
Patrick
found
Gibson.
really difficult is Amy Pascal is producing the next James Bond movie. But yeah, he basically was saying that like she's a ride or die, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Who was saying that?
Tom Holland. He
About
was
who?
making a pitch for being James Bond because Amy Pascal is producing the next James Bond movie.
Yeah, but you know that that's never gonna get made, right?
What do you mean? Why?
Because the people making it are stupid. They released an article, and they're trying to genuinely play along.
It's gonna get made. It's Denis though.
Yeah, but they're trying to. It's not his decision. They're trying to play along with the fact that you know how people say, "Oh, all the Bonds, all the way from Sean Connery and all that,
No.
are the same guy."
Oh yeah. People say that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're trying to say, "How do we undo Daniel Craig's death?" Because they want to.
You
They're
just
trying to
ignore
continue.
it.
They're trying to. Everybody's like, nigga.
Oh my God.
Like, no, they're like, yo, guys. They're like, guys. We don't think that's a serious thing. Like,
Yeah, they're playing around.
continuity. Like, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. Yeah, so because of that, they low key just might not get that made. So, development hell.
Development hell. Man, man. I'm just glad we're in a good era of making. We're in a good area of creation, I feel like.
I'm not gonna say all that yet.
What?
It's still the same people that have been doing it before.
Uh
And mind you, the guy that's about to snatch the chain for the GOAT has been doing this shit. Like, he's been doing that. Like, really, it's just it. I feel like competition isn't as fierce as it should be.
competition.
Yeah, I feel like Denny should have run for his money, but he just doesn't.
I mean, like, did Spielberg have run for his money?
Yo, when Spielberg,
I guess Ridley Scott and James Cameron. But like they were
yeah, but then there was a
near
time back
Spielberg,
then when it was like the De Niro's and Pacinos. Maybe that wasn't comp. Well, the other Scorsese's, Spielberg.
that
you
wasn't
know,
his comp though.
no, but I'm saying that was a different time. That wasn't really comp. They were just all friends. And they were just all making stuff. Like, they were just all making stuff together. So that's fine. Because all the
Have
comp
you
was
seen that
chill.
movie with the show that's being produced by Spielberg and Scorsese? Cape Fear.
Oh no, I haven't watched it. I was waiting for that episode to come out because weekly.
Yeah, a show that's
But I heard
really
people say
good.
it wasn't good,
Maximum
though.
pleasure guaranteed. Oh
Full
my
TV.
God, that show Sugar, amazing as well.
Apple TV has bangers. Apple TV's. I don't know what they got going on with it. I didn't know Apple TV won't cancel anything. Yeah, no. Right now, Denny won't do anything that drops this year. Is
Yeah,
just a
they-
victim of Dune.
But we gotta do Spider-Man. Spider-Man movies come in. Let's see.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what your problem is with the Spider-Man movie? I don't think you're able to appreciate it
No, what are
Fully.
you talking about?
because you're not tuned in with the street tier of Marvel. That's the problem.
Whoa,
And that's like
first
the
of all-
coolest thing.
First,
No,
of
I mean
all-
like the MCU, not like comics and stuff.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like the MCU. But mind you, that's their best stuff now. That's like the only thing keeping me interested.
I like She-Hulk. That was the first appearance of Daredevil. Oh, you're a hater. You're a hater and a misogynist. That's what I'm
No, I like She-Hulk. I'm just saying that that's your representation of the.
I like She-Hulk and Iron Fist. The show. You know what's
Okay,
so
you're
funny about Iron Fist? I hear a lot of people say that in his own show he was ass, but in everything else he appeared
Everybody
to be
else's show.
pretty good.
Yeah, they're bringing him back. Guaranteed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in Daredevil season 3, you're not gonna watch Daredevil, are you?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he went to jail at the end of his most recent season. And they wrote off the Punisher because he's off with, Spider-Man. So he wasn't helping him. So he went to jail. And the set leak show that they're bringing back Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Oh,
Because the
wow.
actor was like,
Okay.
the actor was campaigning for it. He's like, guys, like, it wasn't me that was trash. They literally owed me. They gave me the terrible script.
But he was also
Like my
white.
show's
That was the problem, really.
yeah, but you know,
But
since
I'm
they
fine with him being
canonized
white
the
because
Netflix
my
and
only
everything.
experience with their Iron Fist is Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, same. Wait, was he white in Ultimate Alliance?
I don't remember. I never watched. I never played Ultimate. I did play a little bit of Ultimate Alliance, but I didn't play it.
What? Yo, I'm gonna keep
Nigga,
it a
I
beat
don't
with
know
you.
why you played Ultimate Alliance. Why were you
I
playing
would
that? You don't like
I
top-down
wouldn't.
games.
No, no, no. Ultimate Alliance is an exception.
Yeah, not to
Also, I
me.
played Ultimate Alliance when it dropped. What other superhero game was out that was accessible to us on the
How
360?
old were you? What the fuck?
Young as hell. And then I replayed it when it dropped on PS4 at the time because they wanted to.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
But
you
like
told me about that. I remember.
mainly to mind you, then they got delisted, so now they're like lost videos. Freaking, and I still have them because I bought it. But
Man, you know what I wish? One of the people we both know, he gave
Mhm.
me a disc version to borrow, of course. Deadpool
Okay,
of the game, Deadpool. I wish I
okay.
kept it because you can't get that anymore. That doesn't exist.
Well, I have that disc.
You have the disc?
I do have the disc. They were set because it's not rare. The problem is it's delisted, but it's not rare. Like
Really? It's
somebody,
not?
I wanted to play it, and then I got it for like $5 on eBay. What was tough for me to get, and now it doesn't matter because I have a PC. But when I was on PlayStation exclusively, getting the backwards, like getting a 360 disc version of Arkham Origins, holy shit! The people were charging hundreds for that
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah, yeah,
just to find out that I could go on Steam, play it over 60 FPS, 4K, like all the crazy shit, and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
yeah. Oh, that was a lot. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
No, Metal Gear that was on sale, but Metal Gear Rising Revengeance was looking $30 on Steam. But it was worth it though. That game is so fun. What?
Yeah, I
Like I
heard.
understand why Metal Gear Rising fans pretend to be Metal Gear fans. Like they just never played them. Like it was so good that it made me play the whole series. Like I went back and chose to play, subject myself to MGS1. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 was a banger. Like I would replay Metal Gear Solid 2.
I still can't believe. Yeah, you did play Metal Gear Solid. Isn't that a top-down game, sort of too?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with those games. They're just not my like go-to.
Okay, then when are you
Would
gonna
I
play?
prefer if they were remade in the style of 5?
When do you play Resident
Yes.
Evil 1? Actually, fuck that. We're gonna play Final Fantasy 7. The real one. The real one.
That has less to okay, I'm gonna answer both of those. The Final Fantasy 7 has less to do with it being top down and turn based. It's more to do with the niggas look like blocks. It's more to do with that for me.
What? I don't
Yeah, I
see the
don't.
difference between that
It's
and
not.
Final
It
Fantasy
is not.
Rebirth.
There's
Okay.
no. There's not voice acting.
What's the difference between Final Fantasy Rebirth and Final Fantasy?
I'm not engaging with that line of questioning. And then for Resident Evil 1, the reason I don't play that is less to do with it being top
Wait, no, no,
down
no.
tank
I
control.
played Final Fantasy 7 in the 90s, and I think Final
You weren't
Fantasy
even
Rebirth,
alive in the 90s. What are you
Final
talking
Fantasy
about?
Rebirth did a
Holy
really good
Lord.
job. Final Fantasy Rebirth did a really good job at capturing exactly what the original Final Fantasy 7 looked like. One for one. One for one.
Okay,
Perfect.
so I'll play Rebirth.
No, no, no. No, no, but the gameplay, of course.
Prefer the Rebirth gameplay.
No, no, no. But the game, that's why I'm telling you to play 7 so you can actually experience what real RPGs are. Like real RPGs.
So that's like me telling you, yo, go play Persona, nigga.
I don't like it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get death for that. You're gonna edit that out. You're
The music
done.
though, the music might be top tier though. The music is.
That's like me asking why you don't play the Yakuza games.
I'm about to with Tupac.
Yeah, you're gonna be. That's not a Yakuza game.
That's a Yakuza game.
That is not a Yakuza
Tupac
game, nigga.
back. Tupac
That is
back.
technically back. I don't know.
Fuck back.
You know what? Whatever. That game. Okay.
That
I don't think
game,
I got
it depends on how they use Tupac. I might not get if they use Tupac wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
How do you use Tupac right in that scenario? How do you use anybody wrong?
He doesn't
Correct.
talk. He can't talk. I don't want him to speak at all. No speaking.
That would be so weird. That'd be so uncanny. Like at that point, I'd be like, he should have talked, but he also just shouldn't be in the game.
He shouldn't be in the game at all.
I mean, neither should Snoop Dogg.
No, Snoop decided. Snoop decided to be in the game. That's a problem.
No, I would rather. It's genuinely Shaquille O'Neal would fit better than Snoop Dogg. I'm telling you, know that I'm telling the truth.
That's hilarious. Nah, but man, yeah, we're good. Okay, that's it. That's it for the video. We talked about the Odyssey. We talked about Denis surpassing Christopher Nolan, of course. Do you think Denis is gonna surpass Nolan after this year with Dune 3?
If you ask me, that shit's already done.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're getting death threats,
Nigga,
buddy.
If you were there,
Okay,
if you
but
were
how
there,
close? Okay, no. Be serious with me. How close is Denis to Lucas then? I'm not gonna lie. I think I think
I think that's a
niggas
tough.
don't want to get
That's
to
tough
that.
for me. No. You know what? That's a tough comparison because it's not on equal footing. Because then he's adapting a book that he cared about. He didn't come up with the idea.
No, Lucas did not come up with the idea, but whatever.
Wait, Star Wars? I thought Star Wars is the original like
a
thing.
lot of shit that nigga stole. I'm not gonna lie.
Now that but like every time just making a good movie, like better sci-fi and all that.
Okay,
I
no.
can't.
Wait. Relevant to era. Like relevant to era. Like you can't compare the special effects. And I watched Kubrick
Um,
too. I think from the Kubrick movies I've watched, niggas don't want to have the Denis discussions. I'm not.
Relevant to era is tough with Lucas because I feel like Star Wars had this cultural impact that like Dune isn't having. Like I feel like Dune is like just
That is true.
like Dune now is like yo like if you know Dune it's like you know ball. And he's like
Yeah,
oh
you
shit
know
like you're
ball,
really
yeah.
tapped in, and it's like
But
because
Denis
it's
actually
so
made his money back for the first time, the last movie.
because niggas are like yo this is genuinely ball and niggas
Good,
advocated so
yeah.
much for it being ball,
Yeah.
but Star Wars just like. It's not like
Star Wars,
niggas
yeah,
say like you watch Star Wars niggas are like oh yeah you know ball like
yeah,
that's just it's Star Wars it became a franchise it means that's
yeah.
that technically got it.
All right, so we talked about the Odyssey. We talked about really a lot of shit. Actually, okay, hold on. I'm gonna ask you about these upcoming movies, and we're gonna try to guess if the Odyssey is going to be better. Okay.
Okay, that actually
So
yeah.
next movie, the next Spider-Man movie. What's the next Spider-Man movie called?
Brand new day.
The Odyssey versus Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Wait. Is there specific like? Are we gonna break
If you
it
think
down to
it's gonna be
specific
better,
criteria or
if you think it's
overall?
gonna be better overall, is the
I
Odyssey
don't
gonna be
think.
better than Spider-Man: Brand New Day?
I think the Odyssey is gonna be better because it's kind of sad, you know. Like it's a hard competition.
What do you mean? Wait, wait, how? Tom Holland's in that movie. John
All
Bernthal's in
and
that
John
movie.
Bertha. That's it. It's literally it.
Zendaya.
Yeah, but all those guys are also anything that's in there is also in the Odyssey.
But then you have Charlie Cox.
Nigga, Charlie Cox is not in that movie.
He's not gonna be in that movie. How?
Because he was in jail.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then you have all those guys also in Odyssey, but so Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, John Leguizamo, freaking
Who the fuck is
Lupita
John
Nyong'o.
Leguizamo? I've heard his name. Who plays?
You know we watched that like Leonardo DiCaprio version of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, you know the guy and John. Well, yeah, but they have a lot like their cast is the Odyssey stag. Also, you know I'm supervisor on set and like practical. Self-contained story. Self-contained story is gives it a big leg up. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be a nice concise overall story. And I just mind you, I still think Spider-Man is gonna be a banger. And I think it's gonna be one of the better ones.
How
I'm super
good do you
excited.
think Spider-Man's gonna rank in like the top movies, Marvel movies that came out in the 2020s? Because is it gonna be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 3? It has to be better than Deadpool Wolverine because that might be one of the worst movies to ever come out.
You keep it away from like and from setting up Doomsday, and it might be in conversations for just Marvel movies in general. Because think about it, the whole reason that niggas liked the best part about hear me out. I'm living my case. The whole like the best part of No Way Home, the last one was the idea that they were working backwards, and then they finally got to the Spider-Man that everybody recognized, the miserable broke.
Yeah.
All right,
No Way
okay,
Home
cool.
is shit, but okay.
But I like that they worked up to that though.
Yeah, I do like that too. I love the ending of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got there to some point, right? So now, right, everything is in place. Like we have that guy. We guarantee Spider-Man is not in Doomsday, so there's a high chance he's not setting anything up like for that. So it might not be bogged down by that. He's interacting with at least one street tier hero who's never been in a movie before with the Punisher. You're gonna have Savage Hulk back, and they're actually gonna box like, and it's gonna be fair. Yeah, they're gonna bring him back, and then it's like it's not the same people in the kitchen now. Like now you have somebody who has a good track record. He did Wonder Man, yeah.
And that might be top 3 Marvel movies.
And it's they're bringing back practical swinging, which they never did in the original trilogy of Tom Holland. Like the last time I'm pretty sure that they did that was Andrew Garfield and stuff. And so better swinging. Yeah, the suit is actually fabric. They left the
Let me go see the suit.
They're leaving the creases in, right? Like the suit is one of the better suits. Okay. I think it's Tom Holland's best suit so far. Let me know when you see it, right? Like I think everybody's doing like a really good thing. Like the only thing that might bog it down for me is that I kind of wish that there wasn't like Ned and MJ just weren't in it. Like I wish there.
Oh, you wish
I wish
they
there
weren't in it, really?
No, because you have a really cool opportunity to explore into like, because of what they're doing, a montage of villains. So you said he's fought Scorpion, he's fought all these guys from the comics and stuff. I think this is a really good time. Like, I'm not saying don't bring them back ever, but if it was me personally, I would do everything that they're doing right now. But they gotta give Spider-Man some like temptation when he's separated from MJ. Like, see like how's life going? Like I say, introduce a different love. So this is the chance to either introduce a Gwen or a Black Cat, which would have been preferable. Like because of some temporary thing. Like actually have him be alone for a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like this for 1-2 movies.
Yo, why did they actually give him a crotch? Never mind. They gave him print. What the?
Okay, so it's a classic. So the movie's a classic. It's classic.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Do you like that they're giving him real? He has organic web shooters.
Never had a strong preference either way.
Me either.
Because it's like that's like a power that kind of makes sense with the character.
I actually like organic web shooters because it gives him like a sort of creepy element to Spider-Man. I actually like that though.
I can see that, but I think that for Spider-Man, because of he's Spider-Man, it's like that's like the thing that spiders do.
Yeah.
Like that's something that could be interchangeable. Like I really don't mind.
All right. So we talked. Okay, so you don't think, but you think it's gonna be better. You don't think it's gonna be better than Odyssey, but you think it's gonna be better than
as a
Spider-Man
standalone
movie
film
video game.
Which one?
Spider-Man video game, the first one.
Which one?
First one.
The first one?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Okay. Okay.
You're,
Do you think it's gonna
sick.
be?
You're sick,
Okay.
nigga.
Do you think it's gonna be better than Miles Morales, Spider-Man video game?
I'm not rating that until we have a Miles in the MCU.
Okay. Do you think it's gonna be better than Into the Spider-Verse or
Fuck
Across
no.
the Spider-Verse?
Oh hell! Oh fuck no!
Okay.
Actually, fuck off.
Okay.
Look, putting it against something
Do
animated.
you think it's gonna be better than Amazing Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna be better than Spider-Man 3? Amazing Spider-Man 1 is really good.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's not like I love those films. I just really like Andrew Garfield in the role,
Okay,
and I like
yeah.
him and Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, I like
that.
Emma Stone's gonna say too. She could come back.
The film itself is like fine. Like I would accept people saying it's trash.
So do you think it's gonna be better than Spider-Man 3?
The Toby one?
Yeah, Toby one.
Yeah, easily. Also, I think that Tom could do a better. I think Toby's obviously a better actor, but I think Tom could do the
Wait,
black
what
suit
do you
better.
think is his upper limit? Like, do you think he can be better than Spider-Man 2?
That's a
What is
if
his
it's
upper limit?
It could be if it's not this one, but a Tom Holland Spider-Man film could be if it's self-contained. Like the more self-contained, that's what's holding it back. How self-contained it is. Like
Okay, but how good do you think this movie it can be? Like, what is his upper limit?
I think it could be of the live action ones. I'm not counting animated in the video game because that's a nasty setup. That's a nasty setup. I think it could be the second best Spider-Man film.
So after Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, because Spider-Man 2 is really good. I remember.
So you think it's gonna clear? You think it can clear Homecoming and Far From Home?
Yeah, it could easily clear those.
Okay.
Because like now he's like by himself. Now he's by himself. It's literally just Spider-Man movie. It's literally just Spider-Man being Spider-Man. Like it's what you would imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
And the suits tough. The suits, yeah, I like Iron Man too, but like,
see, that's how I know niggas on the internet have no relation to niggas off the internet because niggas are calling him Iron Boy. I never heard that until I got on Twitter. Niggas
I don't think that's a criticism.
Iron Boy.
I think because we grew up with Ultimate Spider-Man, with the cartoon,
yeah,
that like that's not a criticism that we really would care about because we're used to seeing him like interact with those guys.
Yeah, that's
like, that kind of makes sense. Like shit, I was low-key expecting them to introduce White Tiger.
Facts.
That. Well, no,
I didn't realize until like years after that's not a regular Spider-Man roster.
Yeah, that's not their team.
That might be one of the first times that ever happened. But
that's actually nasty. That's a nasty team.
That's like if we see Batman one time and his roster contains fucking
Guy Gardner,
like basically Batman Beyond, where his roster contains fucking random niggas, just random niggas.
Okay, you know what? Upper limit of this movie, if young Hispanic Nova shows up,
Hispanic Nova.
It's better than the second.
Okay. Do you think Dune 3 is gonna be better than?
Oh yeah.
If Dune 3 is better, Dune 3 better than Odyssey easily.
But actually, Dune 3, I think it will be, but it's on a tight rope because one of them has shoes to fill. Dune 3 has shoes to. You're following up a fucking classic.
It is following up a classic.
So like, if it's like, I genuinely think Dune 2 is like a 10. Like, I think it's a 10.
I agree. I think it's one of the best.
So, but if Dune 3 is a 9.5, then like, then we can like, no, if Dune 3 is below a 9, then we can have some uncomfortable conversations. But
Okay,
like,
okay.
but
Damn.
also like it depends. What would make because I struggle with Dune 3 like to temper my expectations. 'Cause I know that the book it's based on isn't action heavy. It skips all the stuff that like everybody that's excited. Like I don't think Dune 3 is gonna be like critically acclaimed. Like I think it's gonna be like a whole lot of red type of situation.
I can't temper my expectations because I saw
Dune
that
2.
trailer. No, the trailer.
Uh,
The trailer looked
I think it's gonna get a whole lot of red treatment. It's gonna get a whole lot of red treatment. The reason I say that, okay, when I was in that theater, right, like one of my favorite theater experiences was Dune 2. Like my first
yeah,
watch of
me
Dune 2.
too.
IMAX
That was the
screen.
first movie I've ever watched twice.
Yes, yo, niggas was there, right? In my theater, niggas genuinely were making noise at the end, and they sounded like they were ready to go to holy. I kid you not. And I understood. I was ready. I was like, you know what? Yeah, leave them niggas to paradise. Fuck it. You're not gonna accept them as the king, right? But because I know that Dune Messiah is 12 years after, like so many years after that,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are like general audiences that don't keep up with stuff like that are gonna be like it's gonna be a jarring change for them.
Yeah.
To not see a lot of that. Like they're probably expecting a war movie. They're like for the general audiences, Dune 3, and this I don't agree with this, but I think Dune 3, what the general audiences is expecting is a Michael Bay film.
Wrong planet. Give me your
But I think that that's not what
They're
they're gonna
expecting
get.
to see the war.
Yeah, and I think they think it's probably just gonna be the whole war. They probably think it's gonna end with him on the throne as king that started like after the fact.
Yeah, I'll be,
So that's how I'm
yeah,
trying to-
they probably think it's gonna be like the Holy War. They think they're getting all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. But part of me, as somebody that like cares just about the story and like I know what it is, like I would like to see how much of the war they show. Like I think they kind of have no choice but to do that. Like you gotta show me one or two battles. Like I gotta see that, right? And I think they're gonna do that because they show that clip in the trailer where he's like on that planet and he's all bloodied up in that armor.
Yeah.
Personally,
Yeah,
if it was me personally, I don't think he's gonna do this. Even if he was, I want to show it in the trailer. But based on what I've seen, I don't think he's gonna do this. I need to see like the full fledged like division from Dune 1, where it was him and Zendaya standing on that planet.
Yeah,
they gotta do that. They have to do, bro. What?
I love
Like,
that
that needs
scene
to
where
be-
they shot that shot of them like on top of the in the spaceship. Are you talking about that?
Yeah, when then they're in his
Yes.
home planet with the waters, like I feel like you kind of have
Yeah.
to do that, bro. Like and I want to see the battle where he has the gold armor. Like I want to see, but like
That actually might
Like,
be one of the most blatant CG scenes that nobody ever talks about. When they cut to
this
that,
is straight aura. This is straight aura. I'm sorry, it's aura. Like it was so cool.
But it's so obviously CG, nobody cares. That's
I
the
think
only
there's, like,
bad
a level-
CG scene I think in Dune. That's the only bad CG one.
I genuinely think there's like a level of CG where like it could be like I think with an accent like 'cause, like he wasn't using it to do something super unrealistic. He was using it to replace action.
And it was supposed to be like a memory as well.
Yeah, so like that's like fine, and it's like pretty brief, and it wasn't like terrible. Just when it shows his face, you can tell it's really CG. But I think that I would like to see him with the gold armor fighting. Like if they show those two scenes, I think it'd be fair payoff. And then it's like I know the story gets really weird, so I'm not really.
All right, so okay, so Dune's gonna be better.
Yeah, I say better. I still am.
That means if Dune's gonna be better, that means Denis like top 3 directors ever is what we're saying.
I mean, I think even if Dune is just solid, I think he's still up there though. That's the thing because the turnaround time gives him a lot of credit.
Turnaround time, Blade Runner 2049, The Arrival. Have you watched Arrival?
That's the one about the language.
Yeah.
No.
Sicario. I didn't like Sicario. It's because I didn't like.
I need to watch Sicario.
It's a very tense movie. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. So we talk about. Yeah. That's it. That's
Yo, but niggas use Blade Runner.
Odyssey or Michael?
Nigga. Be serious.
Odyssey or Michael? What are you talking about?
Be serious.
Who had more aura, Agamemnon or Mike Jack?
Who came first? Historically.
Oh my god. Well,
one of them convinced niggas to go to war.
Well, some people think. Oh, that is true. That is true. Never mind.
Convinced him to go to war for his little brother's wife, like not even his wife. He sacrificed his daughter for Drake. Do you understand what he did? He
Was Helen of Troy? Which version of Lupita was Helen of Troy? I forget.
The one that was with the Punisher.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the whole thing. He did that war for his little brother. Like that wasn't his girl.
How did her skin end up like that? Her face.
I'm not sure. I think that she just suffered an injury. What I heard, but I don't know. I never read it. Also, they never touch on the fact of if she ran away or if she was kidnapped.
Damn. Oh wait. What did you say? What?
Like they didn't really I like that they didn't touch too much on like whether she ran or whether they think she ran away or if she was kidnapped.
By who?
Because the whole contention is like either she really just didn't like her husband and she left to Troy herself. So it's like not a war thing.
Or
But they say she was kidnapped. Yeah, that's like the whole point. And then they imply that it's that she ran away because she seems super unhappy with the Punisher, but with John Bernthal's character.
Wait, that's insane glaze.
Yeah,
wait, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're telling me Agamemnon did all that. They stayed on that coast for that many years just so his brother can get his girl back.
No,
he killed his daughter for that?
Yeah, but then they also say in dialogue, like he says that that's the reason, like he wanted to make it seem like a noble family thing, but he just wanted to expand and never had a really good reason. So they, like she ran away because she was unhappy. And he's like, they kidnapped this bitch. They kidnapped her. Let's go to war. He's like, he wanted a reason to expand. And that gave him a reason to do it. He's like, I bet. Like, he was itching for a reason to crash out.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking about the Odyssey with me. That's a great movie. Best movie of the year so far?
So far saved you.
Best movie of the year so far. Okay. You didn't watch the fuck today?
Fuck no.
Okay. All right.
I was not watching that, but them trailers pissed me off.
And we're gonna come back to watch.
Fuck around and fucking Avengers Doomsday.
No fucking way. Oh yeah. I didn't actually
overly
the Odyssey or Doomsday. That movie. No. Fuck no. They literally didn't have a script. They didn't have a script. If that's the best movie of this year, it can't be because it's gonna make Marvel go back to their original state again. Because they're working on this movie without a script. This movie actually has to be the worst movie. It has to do horribly.
It's not gonna.
It's just not gonna. It's just not gonna do
it.
If it gets more than $1 billion, Marvel is clipped for the next 10 years. They're done.
You saw what they announced at San Diego Comic-Con?
What did they announce?
Okay, so Ryan Gosling's officially Ghost Rider.
I thought my fault.
What did you think? Wait, what did you think?
Reynolds. I thought you said Reynolds. I fucking hate Ryan Reynolds.
Why the fuck would they cast him as okay? And then they found the new Black Panther. The Black is gonna be, I don't know if you said, David Johnson. Have you seen The Lawn Walk? No, you know what? I went on Twitter. You know what, niggas? It made sense. We're stupid for thinking it was ever going to be Damson Idris. Because Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are like geese for real. Damson Idris took that nigga's girl. There's never going to be no damn Damson Idris. And I'm going to think about it. Like, I don't know why it was that. In hindsight, he never stood a chance.
Okay, so what do you think Ryan Coogler and Future are?
Ryan Coogler and Future?
Yeah.
No, Future's way worse. Ryan Coogler never said he was friends with Damson Idris.
No. Because wait. Are you talking about Lori Harvey, right?
Yeah.
Future, Damson Idris, and who else again? Michael B. Jordan. It's them three.
Well, Ryan Coogler didn't mess with Lori Harvey.
Yeah, but I thought that's why.
No, Ryan Coogler's friends with Michael B. Jordan. They're like tight like this. They're like brothers. So of course he's not gonna cast no damn Damson Idris.
That's fucked up, bro.
They said that they didn't even have auditions. He just called the guy that he picked and said, "Nah, that's him."
Okay.
Yeah, niggas are like, it's like, bro, Ryan Coogler was never. So they were like, he was more likely to cast fucking Ben Dadan as fucking Black Panther before
it's so nasty.
Damson Idris, bro. And I was like, I don't know why I never thought about that. I could never stood a chance. And now everybody
Odyssey better than Sinners?
Yeah. But
you're
pro-black.
Black. No. We got you. It's the video's over. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. You're anti-black. We know what you are.
Pro-black.
Thank you for talking about
pro-black.
Thank you.
Pro-black.
Great movie. Go watch it. Bye.